Something. Yo, what it do, family? We're back. Got a few more things that we're gonna run through today, man, and we're gonna leave y'all with some great information today. So again, this is yo, what it do, black man? I am Nathaniel Belcher. This is Dr. Ronald Alston, aka Doc. To me, that's this.
That's official.
Yeah, this is that's how we communicate. I'm about to start picking his brain even more. Been picking his brain, but about to jump in a little more, man. Really into just learning things that I can continue to do, and just to help me stay focused, man, and to keep the garbage that man, that those traumas can do to you. Stress, anxiety, a lot of that stuff, man. We stay up here, and we shouldn't, because it exacerbates things. It makes things sometimes what they're not.
Right.
So, man, that's one of the reasons why I'm really on centering myself, man, and getting into my breath and staying up out of here. Because it just, to me, it makes a difference. People who are around me say, wow, you seem a lot more relaxed. You're not like you used to be all the time. And I can actually feel the difference. If you don't know me, I have a very strong personality. I'm kind of like this shirt right here, very vibrant and bright. So just learning how to bring that down and just what is controlled chaos.
Yeah.
Controlled chaos.
That's right.
So all right, Doc. So we talked about some of the services that you have. We talked about the website. We talked about some of the services you have. Some of the things. How about what else do you have to offer? You did talk about your blog, your blog that you have, and people can actually go in and comment on it, which I think is pretty dope because it gives you insight to people. And it builds a community, right?
Yeah.
So if you have all these people from different walks of life and they're kind of all saying the same thing, that's, community. And a lot of times somebody can ask a question and you can get an answer from somebody else for what you needed. So that's a great thing, man. That's one of the things that I'm going to do, not trying to do, that I'm going to do with What It Do, Black Man, is to create that community so we can just come in and dialogue and help you get through that stuff. So back to you, Doc.
So what's really important for your audience to understand, Nate, and I'm sure the ages will vary. What I'm about to say will appeal to anyone who allows it to happen.
That's the key.
If I can interact with myself, that means I'm going to be truthful with myself. If those truths are too devastating, too shameful for you to share with not only me, but anybody, I can teach you ways on an abstract level to deal with what you're not telling me. And that's important to understand. You can't tell me that, oh man, I can't tell him that. I'm every time I think about it, I'm just shameful. But in knowing and understanding what emotions are and how they can grab you and take hold and control your entire life, I can still give you the tools to deal with that. But you have to address it. You have to step up.
You do.
Step out.
You absolutely
grab
do.
hold and do something about it. And until you're able to do that, reveal, conceal, heal, until you're able to do that, nothing is going to change for you.
Okay.
And if it hasn't changed in a year, if it hasn't changed in 10 years, chances are it will never change until you change the way you're thinking.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. You gotta put some work in, man. I'm gonna be vulnerable, man. Like, I'm just by nature, man, I'm an aggressive dude. And I realized for certain people, that was offensive. I'm maybe aggressive I'm gonna use aggressive. I'm gonna use intense. Other words that I've heard. I heard intense, and I've heard aggressive a lot. And for me, it was just me being passionate and assertive. Well, that don't work for everybody.
Right.
So you have to find a way to. I had to find. Well, not you. I had to find a way to temper that. Right. When I talked about the controlled chaos, I had to learn that everybody can't handle my 10. Hell, everybody can't even handle my 7, right? So what should I be? Am I changing who I am? No, I'm still the same. Nate Dogg is still here. He ain't gone nowhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I've just learned Nate Dogg. I can put Nate Dogg right on over here.
Mm-hmm.
And when I need him, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just whenever I need him,
Mm-hmm.
whenever I need Nathaniel, I could go get him. Whenever I need Coach B, I could go get Coach B.
There you go.
And that's the way I function now. Like I am really on some I gotta be right here. Cause life is gonna do this to you anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did they say? It's not what happens to you, it's how you react to it.
How you react to it.
And so when the blip comes in life, if I stay like this, then I'll just roll the blip and came right back down. Roll the blip and came right back down.
Yeah.
And
your test, Nate, in any environment. Right now, we're in a controlled, civilized environment because we're exchanging ideas and we want people to hear what we're saying.
Mm-hmm.
If we were sitting here ranting and raving and cussing and fussing, nobody's going to listen to that because that's what you're accustomed to anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the calm voice, it's the voice of reason, it's the voice that doesn't have time for confusion and chaos, and who's only looking for answers. That's the attitude and personality that you want to project in any environment that you're involved in.
It makes a difference.
It really makes a difference.
It does make a difference. Like I can remember times where Cedric the Entertainer said this joke in Kings of Comedy. And he said, black people function out of this thought process 90% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I wish a nigga would.
Yeah.
And being from Chicago, I cannot tell you how much that is my mentality.
Yeah.
And I realized that is a recipe for disaster.
It is. Yeah.
You are literally walking into every situation with every piece of armor you got ready to fight.
Ready to fight. Because you don't know any other way.
And I'm like, even if it happens, when you come and you're firm, well, for me, when I'm calm and I'm firm, I get what I want. Mm-hmm. If I'm loud and cussing and I'll flip this and I ain't nothing.
Right.
I get nothing.
Exactly.
Absolutely nothing.
That's right.
And I just think that we do ourselves a huge disservice by functioning out of that mentality. It don't mean that I wish a nigga would ain't right here. Because sometimes you need to.
That's right.
Sometimes you think I don't have a wish a nigga too? I got that too. Yeah. I came with that accessory too. Here you go. I got that. I have that model too. You know what I'm saying?
I wear that hat. What you see is not always what you would have gotten.
Exactly.
Yeah. So life, life has to be a learning process for you. As you progress through one decade after another, I'm looking back often now, Nate, in my 70th decade. And when I look back, ladies and gentlemen, when I look back on my life, I have to sit down and say, okay, did you do anything? Did you accomplish anything? Did you help anybody? And when I can really justifiably sit here and say, yes, I have, that's the best reward that you can have. That's the best reward you can give yourself, is that despite what you've been through in your life, you came out of it on top and you helped somebody along the way. Yes. That's so gratifying.
Yes.
But again, what we want to talk about a little bit now are emotions and timelines.
Okay. Come on, Doc.
Okay.
I think Doc finna teach right now, y'all.
Okay, a timeline is identifying an emotion
Okay.
that happened to you back when. You have to identify what that time is. So, in a session with me, I'm going to listen to you where you are and work backwards. Now, why do I say that? Because when you come see me, you may be in a certain mood. You may be angry out of your mind. But I have to address that first before you hear anything I'm going to say. Mm-hmm. Once you're able to table that, and we both discuss it and talk about it, I can gradually take you back to when that might have started. You know, when did you pick up that anger? When did you pick up that shame? You know, what was your guilt? Who was responsible for the guilt? Did you play a part in it? Mm-hmm. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of what we're going through, we played a major role. Don't let that fool you.
Come on, Doc, quit telling them. You tell it.
You are responsible for your own fate, you know. People just don't pick you out of a crowd and say, okay, I'm going to put you here, and this is where you're going to be, and this is the way I want to be able to get in contact with you. If you're not there, there are going to be consequences. Okay? Mm-hmm. So life doesn't work that way. So timelines are very important. The age of those timelines. Okay, what happened when you were 12? What happened when you were 16? What happened when you were 21? What happened when your mother and father divorced? What happened when your dad went to jail? Whatever the situation may be, how did it affect you? And when you can really articulate, when you can communicate to somebody, starting with yourself, how this happened, when it happened, and why it happened, you're on the road to healing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's good stuff, Doc.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Doc, you said you got a couple books you wrote, right?
Yeah, I've been around the block a few times.
You wrote a couple books, maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Come on, man, tell us about these books. Some of these self-help books and.
Yeah. Well, let me explain to you why I write.
Okay.
The first book I wrote was entitled 365 Days, My Unveiling Journey.
Okay.
And I always talk about journeys because that defines our lives, okay? So this was my war experience from beginning to end. Okay. From boot camp all the way through the Vietnam War.
Okay.
And everything that happened in between. I wrote about that. 366 pages. When I first made the decision, and here you go, I'm talking about decisions, making finite decisions. When I first started to write this book, I had just come home from work, and I was listening to the news, and 911 had hit. Okay. And that brought me to tears because I saw that as war on our soil. And it shook me. You know, it took me back to Vietnam. It took me back to the struggle and the confusion and the chaos. And never wondering why we were really there. Never knew. We were just sent there by the government, taught how to fight and kill. Hopefully we were able to come out of that. And once we did, we were still lost because we didn't know any other way. You know, most of us, when we went in, we were like, some were 18, you know, I was, 40? I was 20, you know.
You were a pup.
I was a pup, and my life was just beginning. Now, here's the drama of my emotion in terms of not being able to do what I wanted to do. And that was, in high school, I was a jock.
All right.
You know,
okay.
I played sports, man. That's what I did. That's what I did before school, after school, recess. I mean, we were in the playgrounds all the time. Okay. You don't get a lot of that now.
Oh, no, you don't.
So we played ball, and we played every sport.
Okay.
Not just one in particular. But I had a scholarship to 7 universities. Okay. To play football or basketball. Okay. And when I graduated in when was that? When did I graduate? 1966. I decided to take a year off to make sure my mother was all right, because remember I told you earlier that my mother and father divorced, and this would have been the first time I was really away from her and couldn't really watch her like I wanted to. I wanted to make sure she was going to be okay. Well, during that year, I got drafted.
Oh, that's right. So the draft was legal up until when?
When was that? 62? 62? 61, 62?
Wow.
Yeah, and
They just make you come.
and they just make you. Now, there were some options, and it might not been for me at the time, but a lot of people going to Canada, trying to avoid the draft.
Yeah, we ain't got bread like that. We can't just run to Canada.
And we couldn't do that, and I wasn't going to try to find somebody to help me do it. I got drafted. I went into the service, did what I had to do, and I came out of it okay. But it interrupted my dream because I wanted to play professional football.
Okay.
Not unlike guys today who feel that sports is going to be the thing that gets them out of the hood and gets them to making money and they can do for their parents or whatever. I lost that opportunity. So yes, I was angry.
Okay.
But the anger always trickled back to being abandoned and not being good enough, not being validated, not being looked upon as this person who I knew I was. So that was a disheartening time for me. And I carried that all through the service, all the time I was in Vietnam, until I realized I was in a war when people started shooting
back.
So that was an all-encompassing time for me, and I think I aged 10 years during that period.
I can only imagine, man.
Yeah, it was.
I could only imagine.
I would never want to go back to it, but I don't regret having gone, because it really forced me to grow up. It forced me to really see who I was and what I was made of. And character is everything. Integrity is a cousin to character. Yes. And if you don't think anything about yourself, you're not going to think anything about me, Nate, or anybody else that you come in contact with.
Absolutely.
Relationships, your
Absolutely.
girlfriends are going to be affected, marriages are going to be affected, because you're carrying that shiggity all through your life because you're not talking about it.
Yep. That's real stuff.
Yeah.
Real stuff. And here I thought this is the third one. I thought it was going to be shorter, and it ends up being longer. I figured we weren't going to have much to talk about. But, Doc always dropping tidbits, man, and I want us to get it. And I really want him to talk about his time in Vietnam, because I know that we have people who were in Desert Storm. I can't remember the names of the wars, but I know we have people
Gulf War.
Yeah, Gulf War.
Iraq, Afghanistan.
Yeah, and they're coming home.
Yeah.
And they've had to deal with that stuff. So again, man, it's a lot that we're gonna cover, man. Just walk with us. You're going to get a lot of information. Like I told you guys in the first video, we're going to put Doc's information right at the bottom of the video. I'm going to put his website down there so you'll be able to go in. You can look at his blog. You can talk on his blog. You can make an appointment to get an assessment. What else? You can view his books. So I was kind of joking when I said 1 or 2. Doc, what is it, 16?
Yeah, 16 today.
16 books.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope, man.
Yeah.
But
it all happened by accident, man. It started with the first book, Nate.
Okay.
So, if you take that first step in any endeavor, and you like it, you're going to continue it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it allows me to purge. It allows me to share my feelings with other people, to again help somebody who's willing to listen. Exactly.
That's the big thing, man. Like, we don't talk about this enough, particularly in our community. We don't talk about sharing, right? That's what we really here for. Because I have a gift that is very unique and special to me. Doc has a gift that is very unique and special to him. And if we allow those gifts to come out, that is our gift back to the world, right? And each one of us, no matter whatever the shit you got going on in your life, that gift don't go nowhere. It's still there, right? So what I found is that my thing is service, right? I am a very service-oriented person. And so when I am serving other people, it fills me up. So no matter what stage you are in your life, use your gift. Flow with your gift because it fills you up. Right now, my vessel is full.
Yeah.
There was a long time when my vessel wasn't full.
Right.
So now I can get back in the streets and mentor. And those who know me, when I mentor, you know what I mean, get back in the streets. Because I'm that dude.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in the streets mentoring. I'm not a come up with a tie and talk to you for 30 minutes kind of mentor. No, that's not me. I'm going to come to your crib. I'm going to get to know your family. That's how I mentor. And anybody who knows me as a mentor know that is true.
Yeah.
So get in your purpose, man. Figure out what it is that just makes you happy. And do that shit. Right? Do that. Because the blips in life, they going to be there. The challenges in life, they're going to be there. The people who talk about you, stress you out, whatever. All of that is going to be there. We have got to find our peace and our solitude to help us get through that.
Absolutely.
Anything you want to leave me with, Doc?
Yeah, I can leave you with this thought. If you never pursued the things that you've dreamt about, you're going to remain asleep.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. And I feel that.
You have to take a dream that you have on a continuous basis, and this kind of hits you or raises you up out of your bed. That's a sign that you should be doing something about your life. And what's going to haunt you the most are the things that you've been plagued with all of your life, because it's going to stay with you. It's a part of your subconscious. And and the next time we meet, Nate, we can talk more about the conscious and subconscious mind.
Okay.
But everything I'm talking to you guys now, to your audience, how we behave, what we do when we behave, all of those things come into play and become an integral part of our subconscious.
Okay.
We operate 95% of our subconscious.
Okay.
And why is that? Because we're not creating anything new through our conscious mind. You and I right now are in a conscious state of emotion where we're sharing positive things. How many people you think sit down and have these kind of conversations?
I wouldn't say many.
Not too many.
Yeah.
No, because people don't know enough about it to talk about it. But if you find someone who does, if you find someone who's not judgmental, and you develop a trust, it behooves you to sit down and talk. That's what I'll leave you with.
All right, family. So we're going to leave y'all right there, man. I hope that this gave you something. I hope you can walk away with something. And I love y'all as always, man.